I made a map for Macy's. That's right, the department store asked me to draw a map. So about a year ago, I was asked by Macy's to design a bunch of t-shirts for their brand Epic Threads. It's their like kids clothing brand. I got to draw a fairy, a collection of rocks, all kinds of different designs. But my favorite was when they asked me to draw this wilderness, camping, treasure hunt style map to go on a t-shirt. And this is what I made. A year later, the t-shirts are out and in stores. You can get them half off online. And I just really love this design because I think it's a great example of how powerful maps can be, while also being a good example of how totally easy they are to draw. So let's break down this t-shirt design. I'm going to show you just how easy it is to draw an awesome looking map. Okay, so I encourage you to grab a pen and a sheet of paper so you can draw along with me and see how easy all of this is. So if we're looking at this design, it's made up of just a few elements. We have mountains that are just a triangle shape, and I put a little bit of snow on top with a zigzag line going across. There are two different type of pine trees, one that's just a vertical line with a sort of single wave going down it 3 times, and then the other one is just 3 triangles kind of overlapping each other with a little stick trunk on the bottom. There's some clouds in the background that are just kind of like a framing device. Those are just little bumps. You could use those like hills too. There's a bunch of grass to fill in the blank areas. Those are just little hatch marks. There's the path or road that's just a dashed line. And then there's all the sort of like points of interests, you know, the things that you might see while walking along this path out in the wild. In this case, a bear, a fox, a campfire, there's a dog kayaking around a lake, and a tent. You know, these are sort of like camping, exploring sort of points of interest. But if you want to draw a fantasy map, it could totally be a town or a wizard's tower, maybe a dungeon or some ruins. Of course, you can add in a lake and a river. And as I'm drawing these points of interest, you can tell that they don't have to be complicated drawings. You know, the tent and the campfire on this t-shirt are super simple. It's about as basic of a bear and a fox as you can draw. And same goes for this town and wizard's tower and dungeon that I'm drawing on this map. So on the shirt, each of these unique icons is a different color, so they kind of stand out more. But if you're just drawing with a pencil or pen, you don't have to worry about different colors, because really just making a unique icon for a point of interest will make it stand out. You know, right now, just having one of each of these other icons and the unique icons, nothing is really standing out. The trick is to fill up the drawing like a big pattern. Just start repeating trees to make forest, repeating mountains to make ranges, little grass hatch marks to make fields, and then let your repetitious pattern be broken up by these unique icons, the points of interest icons. They're going to stand out just because they're different than all of these repeating shapes, and you'll actually point the viewer's eye to them even more by connecting them with the dashed line roads. That's what makes these special places really stand out. Now, my point with all this, my little hidden design lesson, is that what makes a cool looking map is not how realistic and detailed it is. You know, you're actually creating detail by repeating these simple icons over and over again, but you're making more of a pattern here. You're putting in these points of interests, these simple little drawings that represent a real place or a thing to see, and that's what elevates your drawing into a map. It turns it into a world that is ready to explore. Now that I've broken it down a little bit, I hope you followed along and got to see just how cool it was to bring all of these simple shapes, these really simple drawings together to make something super cool. And I think that a drawing like this, if it's cool enough that Macy's wants to spend money to put it on a shirt, that means it's cool enough for you to throw it down on your D&D table or put it in your fantasy book, or even just hang it up on your fridge or hang it up on your wall. You don't need any fancy tools, just a pen and a sheet of paper does the trick. And despite me showing you this professional work that I have done, you don't have to be a professional artist to draw like this. You know, you might have even looked at this t-shirt design and thought like, oh, my kid could draw something better than that. And it's kind of the point. But I don't know, maybe I'll do a video about all that stuff in the future. Anyway, I hope this video inspired you to give drawing a map a shot. If you'd like to support the channel, I have a Patreon where I release monthly tabletop role-playing games, adventures, and guidebooks. I also have an online shop where you can buy the back catalog of all the stuff that's on the Patreon. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. See ya!